Hi Tara, how you doing today?
Doing good, Eric. How are you doing?
I'm great. Where are you based?
Our company headquarters is actually in Prague in the Czech Republic, but I'm here in Southern California in the States.
Oh, gotcha. Nice and warm then.
Yeah. Well, I'm up in the mountains, but yeah, most of the year.
Oh, gotcha. We got a lot of snow here. Last night we have about 4 inches of powder. I'm in Denver, so it looks like a
Oh,
winter
you're in
wonderland
Denver.
here. Yeah, so
Nice.
pretty here.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize where our company is headquartered in the Czech Republic in Prague. There's like a small town outside of Prague that is really has a long history of crystal glass making, and so our Somavedics actually made in crystal glass factories. Everything is hand blown, handmade. It's not made in like a sweatshop in China or anything like that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean it's so this is the Somavedic. It is super super heavy and a beautiful device. We keep it by our computer upstairs in our living room. And for those unfamiliar with this device, can you talk a little bit about exactly what this is and what the benefits are from having this in your home?
Sure, sure. So the core of the device, we have a few different models, but all of the models have a center made up of a combination of different gemstones and minerals. And the technology that we have takes the already naturally occurring frequencies and then amplifies it out into your environment. So it's almost similar to like a Wi-Fi router, but with positive benefits. It reaches 100 feet in all directions. So for most homes, that one device would be enough. And what we measure is a difference in heart rate variability, blood pressure. We show a difference in blood samples before and after exposure to the device. So it's not blocking EMF, but what it's doing is helping your body to recover faster. All the
Gotcha.
kind of different biomarkers we know that it affects are also negatively affected by EMFs. So it's like a support for the body to recover faster from the effects of EMF.
Amazing. Yeah, I think many that tune into my content are familiar with HRV or heart rate variability. And the higher your heart rate variability, the better. It just means that you are more recovered. So EMFs are something that can decrease your HRV because there could be inflammation and you want your HRV higher. So this is a cool device that you can use that you guys have done some studies on it affecting HRV in a positive manner.
Right, right. And, the other thing too is that we always want to, point people towards reducing EMF as much as possible. So if you can
Sure.
unplug your Wi Fi at night or even hardwire your home, that's going to be really, really beneficial. But most of us can't escape it 100%. Like I live somewhere pretty rural and I'm still picking up signals from three or four different homes. So this is kind of just a way to help the body to actually repair faster. We have one study that shows that after exposure to holding a mobile phone, there's a cellular degeneration. And then when we replicate that within the field of the Somavedic, we show that the cells are repairing themselves and regenerating faster.
Absolutely amazing. So talk about what is in this that is doing that. How does this create that frequency?
So it's interesting. The device itself was not originally invented to help with EMFs. It was just a side effect that we noticed later. So the owner of our company, a man named Ivan, he's in the Czech Republic. He had a background in engineering and mathematics, and he became very ill. He had autoimmune disease and he had lupus. And he really wasn't finding any sort of solution through allopathic medicine. And so he started studying frequency therapy and alternative medicine. And so he really invented the device to heal himself. And then he started making them for friends and family. And that's how the company was born. But it's based on the principle of controlled release. So again, those already naturally occurring frequencies in over 20 different gemstones and minerals that are in the core of the device, concentrated. So basically, again, like a Wi-Fi router, just amplified out into the environment.
Amazing. And it looks beautiful at night. I love watching it glow, in our kitchen area. So one of these devices, I believe this is the Vedic unit.
That's the Medic Green Ultra. The Vedic is that same model, just a little bit updated.
Got it. And so, how much square footage will this effectively cover in a home?
So it's about 3,000 square feet in a perfect bubble.
Okay.
So that's most people's homes aren't shaped like that. So when we give you that 100 feet in all directions estimate, it's important to place it, especially 100 feet within your bedroom and where you spend most of your time, like your living room, or if you have a home office. The most central location possible is usually the best bet.
Gotcha. While we're on the topic of EMFs, I would love to know some of the things that you do in order to help mitigate the harmful effects. You had already mentioned that, turning off Wi-Fi at night. I'm assuming putting your phone on airplane mode. Any other things that you're doing?
I personally don't have Wi-Fi in my house, and my house is hardwired. I'm very, very sensitive to EMF, so that's kind of why I'm such a believer in the product. It's really, really helped me with ocular migraines in particular, which I used to suffer from, and I really haven't had one since I've had the Somavedic in my home. We have a good booklet that we can send out if anyone wants to sign up on our website for our newsletter. It's just kind of like an EMF mitigation booklet, but there's some interesting information in there. If you are on your phone, even keeping it 9 to 12 inches away from your face and your head makes a huge difference. I like to take magnesium, especially magnesium bicarbonate. I think that's really effective at helping our body to deal with the overload of EMFs as well.
Interesting. So we do turn our Wi-Fi off at night. I put my phone on airplane mode, and I've been considering. So I have a watch that tracks heart rate and heart rate variability, and I just don't think there's a lot of studies out yet on these devices that many of us are wearing and what kind of harmful effects there could be from this. So I mean, sometimes I keep it on at night, sometimes I take it off. I don't, I haven't seen enough literature on whether or not it's harmfully affecting me.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I always think about, like, in traditional Chinese medicine, that's like a meridian point right there on the wrist. I know there are some wearables, like I think the Aura Ring, you can turn it off and it will capture the information and then send it to your device when you do turn it back on. But it's possible to wear it without the Bluetooth. And interestingly enough, on that topic, a lot of our customers who do wear wearables or Aura Rings or track their sleep, one of the most common pieces of feedback we get from our customers is deeper sleep, and they're actually seeing, even if they're getting, if you have young children or for whatever reason you can't get optimal sleep length, their sleep efficiency and their time spent in deep sleep is improved with the Somavedic.
Gotcha. That's fascinating. Yeah, very good to know, because I feel like even if you don't have this on and you want to track your sleep, you have a mattress that's connected to Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. So it's like you can't get away from some of this stuff if you want to track. And also so many of our things in the house are connected to Wi-Fi, from the grill to the fridge to our sauna to our Sonos speakers, and it's insane how connected we're becoming. So this is such an important topic for people to understand, what they can do to help counteract some of the effects of all of these EMFs that are just constantly around us now.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting in the last few years, since more communities are adopting 5G. I think previously EMF was almost like a fringe kind of woo-woo topic in the natural health space, but I get a lot of calls now from customers who had a 5G tower put in maybe somewhere near their home, and the effects are undeniable. It was kind of something that was not in the general population's awareness before, and unfortunately people are being forced to look at it because they're seeing health effects.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting for people to track their HRV, leaving Wi-Fi on, leaving Bluetooth on, and then, using a Somavedic and tracking your HRV, and then also using the Somavedic but turning off Wi-Fi at night, putting your phone on airplane mode, doing, as much as you can to rid yourself of EMFs, at least while you're sleeping.
Right. Something I also forgot to mention is if you live somewhere where they have smart meters, depending on your utility company, where I live at least, we're allowed to opt in to pay, I think, like $8 or $10 a month to have the smart meter turned off and have them do a manual reading. And that's a huge source of EMF.
Interesting. So what kind of that's your electric meter? What kind of
Right.
meter?
Exactly. So whoever
Got it.
your electric company is, some will allow you to turn it off and just have somebody come out once a month to read the meter, which is how they used to do it. Some don't, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would be so interested in the hard wiring. I just feel like we have so many devices here that rely on Wi-Fi. I mean, I guess the speakers you could hardwire, your computer you
Hmm.
could hardwire, but like your phone, you wouldn't be able to hardwire, so you couldn't use your phone using the internet.
Right.
Yeah, we've become so reliant upon it, and we just don't know, the harmful effects of it.
Right. And there's so many benefits to, like our conversation right now. I mean, there are a lot of benefits to all the devices that are, using
Sure.
EMFs. I think if it's not possible to hardwire, or maybe you live in a condo or like an apartment or in downtown in the city, at least if you can get your bedroom, where you're sleeping and regenerating, at least if there's no cell phones allowed at night or everything's on airplane mode and you don't have anything like plugged in right next to your head, that's a huge benefit. That's going to make a big difference.
Sure. So,
Yeah.
would it be beneficial to put the Somavedic in your bedroom over, say, the kitchen? Is there a recommended place, or just wherever it's going to reach the largest perimeter?
We don't recommend putting it in the bedroom because it emits light, and because it penetrates through walls and floors, there's really no benefit to having it in the bedroom. Two of our devices, which we haven't even covered this yet, but the Amber and the Vedic also structure your drinking water.
Mm,
So you want to have it like within 1 to 2 feet of your drinking water. So for my house, I have it right next to I have a countertop reverse osmosis, and I have my Somavedic right next to that. But that's still within 100 feet of my bedroom, so that's a good place for my house.
got it. Talk a little bit about structured water for those that are unfamiliar with what structured water is.
Sure. So if we were, getting water directly from a spring where it was like vorticized and mineralized, then looked at it underneath the microscope, the minerals inside of the water would be in like a perfect hexagonal shape. But because we
Hmm.
have to process water in order, for it to be drinkable and then purify it, hopefully remineralizing it again. If we were to look at it, it's become kind of denatured, and so the structure of the minerals inside of the water kind of loses its shape. So when we structure the water again, our body recognizes that and actually is able to absorb it. What I noticed is I was really, really thirsty all the time before I started drinking the structured water, and even though it was really good quality water, I was mineralizing it. I just felt like I was always thirsty and dehydrated. And when I started drinking the structured water, and I hear this from so many of our customers, it's like it tastes better and
Hmm.
you're drinking less, but you feel like you're actually hydrating. You're not just, peeing out all of the minerals because you can't absorb it.
Hmm. And it's a frequency coming from this that's able to do that.
Yes, that also was kind of a happy mistake or discovery when Yvonne, the owner of our company, was kind of tinkering around and making different models. He noticed that the water was like supercharged. It was almost too charged, and so he was able to play with it to where we're structuring it, but we're not like zapping the water either.
Amazing. So we've
Yeah.
done a bunch of blind tests where we've had water next to the Somavedic, and then
Hmm.
room temperature, and then we had room temperature water far away from the Somavedic. And I mean, on 4 or 5 different occasions, we've had friends try the water, and they pick the structured water. They're like, it tastes better. Wow. And we're just like
Yeah.
blown away. So you really can like taste the difference of it. It's crazy.
Yeah, we have a great one of the partners that we work with. She did a blind taste test with her husband and her son, and I think like kids and animals are always the best, least likely to be affected by placebo on our Instagram. But it's we have a lot of customers tell us that it's almost always, not always, but almost always like the wife in a couple who purchases the Somavedic and the husband that's like a little bit distrustful, and the water is probably like even the most skeptical customers across the board notice a difference in the water.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, I mean, we love our Somavedic. My girlfriend Sarah is a network spinal practitioner, so she's studied, all of the different studies that you guys have done on it. And yeah, we love what you guys are putting out there. Appreciate your knowledge on EMFs and how to make your water better. And if you guys are interested in checking out Somavedic, you can hop on their website and see the different devices they have.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Eric. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you, Tara. Just don't hang up yet. I'm going to stop it, but it just has to upload to our respective computers.
Sure.